The Honourable George W. Hawkins.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill, as has been noted earlier, was introduced into the House by the Honourable Shane Jones, and I think it's then been taken over. Phil Heatley looked after it for a while, and now the Honourable Maurice Williamson. But this bill, while Labour Party goes along this way quite willingly, I've got to say that what this is really poor about is process. This bill, the committee looked at and came up with reports, and away go the officials. And 9 days ago, the government knew what amendments were going to go into this bill. 9 days ago. But of course, the opposition doesn't get them until the day that the committee stages start in this House. Now, we had promises from John Key when he went around the countryside electioneering that things were going to change. And yes, now, well, Mr. McLean looks as though he's putting his hand up. Well, the trouble is, things have not changed. Now, I know as a government, when I was there, sometimes we did these things. But everything was going to change. Things were going to be different. And here we have SOPs, and there's a pile of them. Clause 5, new definition of unit plan. Now, that's quite important. You see, the last act this one replaces was in 1972. And I think things have changed quite markedly. The building industry, the style of housing, the style of units that people live in is far different than what it was back in 1972. So, yes, I have noticed. But yes, I remember the leaky houses. When houses were built using untreated timber approved by a national government, their legislation, and that person shouldn't forget that. But when we get back to what this bill is about, when we have a look at process, I think the government should acknowledge that they are guilty, that they haven't gone about it properly. Look, when there's goodwill on both sides of the House for legislation, the quickest way to wreck it is to try and be secretive until the last minute, and that's what this government's done. Now, that's not good. If you want people to support legislation and to work in a positive way, you've got to bring people into the picture a lot. The national government must bring the opposition and other parties into the picture sooner. Now, I want to thank the Honourable Maurice Williamson because he made his officials available to brief our leader on housing, Moana Maki, and I think that's fine. But that's only one small step. We need much more than that, and I think the officials are put in a very bad light, not because of their fault, but because the government didn't do its job. Now, obviously, we're going to have a lot to say about a lot of things in this part, but I do believe that the Minister should answer tell the House why it took so long for him to make sure the SOP was available. Why did that happen? Was it a printing problem? Was it a deliberate move by the national government? Were they too busy dealing with other things such as mines and wrecking conservation land? I think the Minister should get up, take a call and tell the House why they didn't let the opposition see the SOPs much earlier. Mr Chair, I've got to say that we as a party...
I call Todd McLean.